Friday night win at Salford, good way to set up the weekend. I guess the first question is, did you enjoy the zoo?
No, I think in the end it was a bit of a washout, but we went somewhere similar, like where there's a bit of soft play and some animals as well, so it was nice.
Yeah. In all seriousness, I wonder how nice it is for your players to kind of have that little. I mean, it's only one day, isn't it? But an extra day, perhaps in between games, can sometimes help, can't it?
Yeah, I think when you suffer one way, you gain in another, and so we had less recovery, but the players performed very well and very energetic, and now they get the extra day. So yeah, that's kind of the perfect way for that to happen. To have one less day to recover and prepare for the Salford game, win the game, and then have an extra day to recover afterwards. So we're very happy with that trip on the Friday night, and it worked out a good experience for us.
Yeah, absolutely. The key thing being what you said in the middle, that you went there and you did the job. You got the game won.
Yeah, I think that we played, for the most part, we played quite well, and certainly didn't look like a team that were fatigued or tired. And so I'm very grateful to the players for that, because I know that took a certain mental strength to play with that intensity and physical aggression in their body, when some of them were obviously feeling effects of the two previous games.
In terms of league football, Luke, you're 8 games in, and I know we normally say things start to take shape after 10, don't they? But 8 games in, things obviously going very well for you. I wonder what you've learnt about League Two so far.
Yeah, the level is up from the National League. I think that's clear. I think that the teams play some in a similar way to how we experience the games in the National League, and some quite different. So we're having to prepare differently to try and make sure that we're more aware of different styles of play. I think we had a good grasp of the National League. Of course, that many of the players and the staff had already been in the division before, and so they gave me great information about how other teams are. But now we're all experiencing League Two as a group together, and we're having to learn about the different styles and the different problems that we face with the teams as we go along, and that's been a challenge.
To that end, are you pleasantly surprised by how it started?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it can start better if we don't have a terrible performance on the opening day. I think if you look at the results of the two teams since then, it feels now, in hindsight, like a missed opportunity for us to try and pick up another point at least. So it can be better. I think that we're still so early that it means nothing at all at the moment. So I don't think that I'm pleasantly surprised or super happy with the start. I think there's a mixture there of disappointment, and there's also a feeling that we're too early to actually say that we're happy, or that we feel like we're doing well, because in 2 games time, yes, 10 games would be a measure, and a lot of things could happen in 2 games time. We could have a very, very different feeling. So no, we don't need to worry ourselves and talk about anything in too much detail at the moment. We just need to focus on trying to improve our performances and get a level of consistency.
First up, Forest Green back at Meadow Lane for yourselves, and 3 league wins out of 3 at Meadow Lane so far, which is obviously a record that you'll be keen to preserve as deep into this season as you possibly can. How much are those home fans helping you to create that kind of environment where it's difficult for opposition to come into?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the two things cannot be separated. The home form and the fans cannot be separated. And I think that it's really important for me to articulate that when you turn up at a ground is packed, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a difficult place to play. The fans here are making it more difficult because of their energy and their excitement behind us, and that's the difference. It's not about having big numbers in there. I think if you talk to players that have played for big clubs recent years that have not been in the place that they want to be, like if you look at the Sunderland is an unbelievable football club, is incredibly well supported, but it can be very, very tough for the home team because the expectation is extremely high and many people are there to let you know how you're doing. And now we have more harmony between the team on the pitch and the fans, and the togetherness is what is giving the problem, for the opposition. And we have to continue. We have to take the first step forward, the team, and try to excite the fans and give them the connection that they feed off, and then we can make a really difficult place, I think, for teams to play.
It's such an important word, isn't it? The one you just used there, togetherness. It's so important for a club to bring the fans with them on the journey, if you like.
It's really, really crucial, and I think that we've been that consistent as a team that we've managed to convince a lot of people that probably were feeling like suspicious at the beginning. Like, okay, this is okay at the moment, but let's see, because we have a bad history with the team not quite getting over the line, and it was our job to try to convince them that that we're going to go a little bit further and we're going to try to be that bit more consistent. And I think we've done that well enough that they trust us more, and they believe that we're never beaten more than before, and so now we have the feeling togetherness, which is the key one that you were talking about. And togetherness can't be achieved just by hoping for it or suggesting it. It can only be achieved by reality.
Forest Green will be the side trying to disrupt that togetherness, if you like, when they come in at the weekend. I've noticed, I know they haven't had the season they wanted so far, Luke, but their 2 wins have come away from home, so they're obviously a decent prospect on the road. Yeah,
definitely. They have very, very good players. They have a really nice new energetic staff with enthusiasm and some really good ideas. And at the moment they're probably, I guess, are feeling a little bit like they just didn't click enough. They just didn't quite click enough to have had a brilliant start. And hopefully, things don't click into place too soon. But I think they're probably going to, at some point, are going to have a very good period of the season. And we're worried about that. So we have to do our preparation really well. We've done beginning our preparation this last 2 days, and now we need to really have one more very focused session and try and get the game plan correct. Otherwise, they will cause us a big problem because they're very good players.
We wish you well, Luke. Just finally from me, how are you looking squad-wise? I obviously know Aaron the man with his suspension. Everybody else okay?
Yeah, we're pretty healthy at the moment. We're very disappointed with Aaron, but we can't do anything about that now. So yeah, we have a pretty healthy squad.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Does that mean it's good news on Toby Adebayo?
Yes, he trained fully today, and we don't see any further problems with that issue. We've cleared that up, and so now it's just get him in the right place and be available for selection.
You do, of course, have 2 long-term absentees, Jala Bajrami and Kedwin Scott, unfortunately still hobbling around the place after their respective operations, but they went well, I believe. Have you got any sort of more idea of time frames for both of them?
Yeah, but both surgeries went very well, so the surgeons are happy. The players are now beginning this long slog of trying to now rehabilitate as quickly as they can. But the first stage has been successful, which is a key milestone for them in their recovery. So we're very sad for both of these players because they're really both great guys and have been with us on a brilliant journey so far, and we do everything we can. It's impossible to make them feel like they're really in the thick of it, of course, but we need to try and help them now with the long journey in front.
Notts TV, do you have anything to add?
Hi there, Luke.
Hello.
In terms of this Saturday, back at home now after a good win away, what can the fans expect in terms of intensity from both sides this weekend?
Well, I think that they should expect both teams to be, full throttle and both teams trying to win the game. I think that Forest Green have a very modern approach to how they want to play, and I know the staff, the manager and the assistant. I know them well enough to know that they're very good and that it's going to appear like a very modern team with the desire to press, and they'll be able to then build up and play well with the ball. So we're gonna have a tough game. We need to try to match the intensity first and foremost, and then try and out football them if we can as well. But if we don't manage to compete in a physical way, it's going to be a difficult game.
And 2 weeks ago you were playing in extreme heats, and then Salford, you've had the game moved a day forward. Does that kind of have an effect in terms of getting the team prepared for another game?
Oh yeah, it has a huge effect. But it's an entertainment sport. We don't play behind closed doors. We're here for the spectators. That's what the whole purpose of the sport, and we have to perform in whichever day we're told to perform, whether it's hot or cold, whether it's the morning, the afternoon or the evening. There's no excuse for us not performing. We are professionals, and the preparation is more difficult, yes, but impossible, no. Just more creative about when you do things, use the time really appropriately, make individual training plans for players that need more or need less. Is difficult because you don't want to make a mistake and you have to concentrate on the details, but it's not impossible, and it's not a good enough reason for the fans to not expect a decent level of performance. So yeah, now we have an extra day, so it's a lot nicer, and hopefully we see a really energetic team on the pitch.
And lastly, you're unbeaten in your last 5 games. You must be pleased with that, no?
I prefer to not lose, yeah, of course, but there's things that are disappointing inside that as well, because only focusing on the result, we can just say we're happy, and then if we lose a game we're not happy. But if we concentrate on both the result and the performance, then it gives us a more true understanding of where we are. And so far, performance is okay, results okay. So we have to try and find the areas that we can improve. I'm really happy that we had a clean sheet. I'm really happy that we scored 2 goals away from home. Do I think that we had a couple of near misses? Yeah, I do. That I would prefer they didn't have a header in the box. I would prefer they didn't have a half chance. Did we miss 1 or 2 opportunities that I think were good enough that we could score? Yeah. So there's plenty of room for improvement just on the last game alone. So then if we start to analyse all the other games in the same way, we don't have an amazing feeling like we're so good, and we also don't have a feeling like we're way off of the level. So we're somewhere, and we have a lot further to travel in this season before we start to get a sense of who we are in the division and how good we are or how good we aren't.